Now at 10, we'll break down how much the city of Joplin paid after last year's network security incident. Plus, some Joplin residents petitioned the city council to increase support for first responders, and how a proposed $21 million school bond would be used to improve McDonald County schools.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
8 months after the city of Joplin suffered a data breach, we're learning the cost of that breach. This is KOAM News at 10. In July of 2021, the city says someone gained access to the city's systems, disrupting phones, computers, and online applications. In addition to certain employee health care files, some customer data was also impacted by the data breach. KOAM has obtained a document detailing the cost of that breach. The city of Joplin paid a ransom for the files the hackers managed to take from the city. The majority of that cost is covered by insurance. A total of 4 firms were paid for services related to what the city calls a network security incident. The total cost of that breach, more than $635,000. For a full breakdown of the cost, go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. When the Joplin City Council met tonight, a number of members of the general public spoke in favor of the Joplin Police Department, in support of the department. Some advocates were for increasing wages for Joplin police officers. They compared Joplin police wages with wages for officers in surrounding areas and discussed ways to get funds increased for the department for additional officers.
All we've gotten in return is, let's talk about it. Let's do a study, or let's do another study, because it's been too long since we did the first study. And I feel like it has not been a priority for this council. They seem to be more interested in giving us pretty buildings. I like pretty buildings. I think that's great, but that's number 10 on the list, not number 1. This is number 1.
Tonight's council meeting also included a presentation about plans for Memorial Hall. Officials will give that same presentation again at the Joplin Chamber of Commerce on Thursday, 10 a.m. Boy, it's been a wet day and now a wet night. Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it really has. Showers, thunderstorms started to really get going late morning. And then since then, we've just had periods of showers, thunderstorms across the region. Now, earlier today, we did get up to about 62. We started at 49 degrees during the morning hours, but just round after round of showers, thunderstorms across the region. Here's our last batch of at least heavy rain. Now, this is a 3-day storm system. Most of it today, and then it's just kind of a nuisance over the next couple days. But this is the last heavy batch. You can see it right along the state line, all the way back through Labette County, Neosho County, and then through northeastern Oklahoma, southwestern parts of Missouri. And we'll continue to get this last batch and then lighter rain after midnight, which is good. Things will start to taper off, will dry out just a little bit, but still rain, thunderstorms in the forecast next 2 days. We'll look at that here in just a bit.
Catch it in. An Adrian, Missouri man is dead after a crash in Vernon County. Authorities say 69-year-old Charles Schutte was riding a motorcycle on I-49 about 14 miles north of Nevada when he hit the guardrail. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. A bill in Missouri would change several election laws. The legislation, which cleared a House committee, would require photo ID to vote and hand-marked paper ballots. The bill would also make it illegal for voting machines to be connected to the internet, and it would allow registered voters to change their registered address in person on Election Day, among other changes. The bill will now go to the full House for discussion, but a hearing is not currently scheduled. Next month, area voters will head to the polls to decide some elections and ballot measures, and that includes people in McDonald County, Missouri, where voters will choose whether to pass a $21 million school bond. The bond would pay for remodeling of some school areas, including classrooms and a nurse's station. It would also fund the construction of 6 storm shelters at various schools in the district.
One, they're going to provide a safe place for the students to go in case of emergency. They're going to provide a safe place for the staff to go in case of an emergency out here. And then thirdly, they're going to provide a safe place for community members to go, because these will be open to the public.
The election will take place on April 5th. A public meeting on that proposal will be at 6:30 tomorrow evening at the McDonald County High School Performing Arts Center. Also in McDonald County, some students are raising some green by going green. Students at Rocky Comfort Elementary are planting more than 10,000 plants in their greenhouse. Once the plants have grown, they'll be sold as part of the school's annual plant sale, with that money going towards school improvement projects.
I think they need to know where everything comes from, their food. I think it's important that they have hands-on opportunities to be able to plant plants and see like the fruits of their labor through agriculture.
The seeds for this project were funded by a grant from Walmart. The city of Knoll, Missouri is giving residents a chance to provide input about a project to stabilize a stream bank and improve sidewalks. The project would stabilize the bank along Elk River on Route 59 between the Elk River Bridge and Butler Creek Bridge. It would also add and improve sidewalks along that same stretch of Route 59. The project is expected to cost $2.1 million and would begin construction next year. The meeting will take place on March 29th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. There won't be a formal presentation, but it will be more of a Q&A session. The Carthage Chamber of Commerce today announced the theme for this year's Maple Leaf Festival. For the 56th year of the festival, the theme will be Carthage at the Crossroads. The theme was chosen from an entry by a Carthage resident. Officials say it embraces the city's history and connection to Route 66. The festival will take place on October 1st through the 8th. Coming up, how a local VFW chapter is helping veterans deal with health care claims, plus how nurses in Ukraine are helping keep babies safe when they can't be with their parents.
Hi, I'm Scott.
Ukraine is refusing to surrender the hard-hit city of Mariupol. Russia offered to let civilians escape if Ukraine would let it take over the city's Ukraine government, and the government said no. President Biden travels to Belgium this week for a high-stakes meeting with American allies. He'll also go to Poland, which has taken more than 2 million refugees in from Ukraine. Altogether, Russia's invasion has displaced an estimated 10 million Ukrainians. Some of the most innocent victims of the war in Ukraine have only just been born. There are hundreds of infants born to Ukrainian surrogates who are now trapped by the fighting, kept away from their biological parents who are helpless to keep them safe as they anxiously watch the war from other countries. Reporter Charlie D'Agata spoke with the nurses keeping these babies alive and with a couple who decided they couldn't wait any longer.
They range in age from just a few days old to 5 months. 21 temporarily stranded surrogate babies, orphaned for now by the war raging above this makeshift basement bomb shelter, but not abandoned, looked after by an exhausted team of dedicated nurses, like Antonina Yufimovich.
Are you getting enough rest? You look very stressed.
Our rest is no more than 30 minutes or an hour. We can't take more time. A lot of babies cry.
They get a half an hour, an hour of sleep at a time. That's all the time. Day and night.
Yes.
Ukraine is a global leader in surrogacy. When the war broke out, it became too dangerous for the biological parents to come get them. The Growing Families charity estimates as many as 800 couples are waiting for their babies, including those from America. Standing sentry outside, we find Chief Dr. Igor Pechenoga, not in scrubs, but combat fatigues. We're in a war, he explains.
What are you telling the parents?
The truth, he says, what is happening here? The people are dying. Children are dying too. Not just soldiers, but also children, mothers, sisters.
I think he's hungry.
Hecke and Gerhard Gottskog from Bavaria, Germany, decided the risks of traveling into an active war zone outweighed the risks of leaving Leonard in one.
That's why you came.
We have no electricity, no water. That's very dangerous for our baby.
And it's so not the normal.
When now, later it's dangerous. It's more dangerous.
You thought, let's go and get there now.
Yes.
The rest of the newborns remain safe for now. But as the war worsens and advancing Russian artillery strikes the capital, how safe, and for how long. Charlie Daggett, CBS News, Kyiv, Ukraine.
The Federal Reserve Chairman says the U.S. economy needs to return to a more neutral monetary policy. Jerome Powell addressed the National Association for Business Economics today. He said to catch up to the strong job market and soaring inflation, the central bank needs to raise interest rates more quickly. Last week, the Fed raised them for the first time since 2018. It's the first of several planned increases this year. Be cautious before you make your next breakfast. Continental Mills announced a recall of its Great Value Buttermilk Pancake and Waffle Mix. The FDA says cable fragments used in the processing line were found in some boxes. The pancake and waffle mix had a best buy date of September 1st, 2023, and was delivered nationally to Walmart stores. No related injuries have been reported. Consumers are advised to return the product to the place of purchase for a refund. A protein found in a common enemy of humans and animals could become part of chronic pain and itch relief treatments. Researchers in England say a protein in the saliva of the brown ear tick could prevent histamines in the body from activating, resulting in reduced chronic pain and itching responses. Possible uses could be for back issues, arthritis, psoriasis, and other conditions. And here's another reason to love coffee in case you need it. The used coffee grounds could someday help detect brain waves. Scientists from the University of Cincinnati used electrodes coated with carbon from the coffee waste, and they found they were better at sensing dopamine, a neurotransmitter in the brain. A little bit later, a local VFW hosts an event to help veterans file paperwork for health care claims.
Plus, we're still seeing rounds of showers and thunderstorms. We're going to talk about that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a very wet day for us today. Periods of showers, thunderstorms across the region. Really since about, 10, 11 o'clock this morning, we've had periods of showers and thunderstorms. A lot of rain across the area, and we're going to continue to get at least some moderate to heavy amounts of rain over the next couple hours, and then things will start to diminish outside. We're kind of on our last big band. Showers, thunderstorms, of course, nothing strong, nothing severe. We've had a lot of thunder and lightning over the past 12 hours, or I guess about 9 hours or so. And you can see the heaviest now on the Missouri side down through northwestern Arkansas. Now, when you're looking at the radar, the yellows and the oranges, that's our moderate to heavy rain. This is actually booking northeast at a pretty good clip, but very heavy amounts of rain. Let's go ahead and we'll zoom in just a bit. Well, actually, we're going to look at rainfall here. You can see over the past 6 hours in the metro, 1.3 inches on average, but look at the brighter yellows. Some areas have picked up over 2 inches over the past few hours. It is starting to taper off a little bit in our western counties. Yates Center, Fredonia, Neodesha, Independence. You're starting to dry out just a little bit. Once you work farther east, the rain picks up. So here's 69 highway and then 49, Interstate 49. Still very heavy amounts of rain all through southwestern Missouri. We can go a little bit farther south, picking back up near Table Rock Lake, Newton County, McDonald County, Benton County, all heavy amounts of rain. Then you get into northeastern Oklahoma, still coming down Miami to Grove, but starting to diminish a little bit in our western county. So we still have an hour or two, and then things will start to improve as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. Severe weather all the way down to our south northeastern parts of Texas really has been hit pretty good throughout the overnight hours tonight. And then on the back side of the system, this is a 3-day system. Here's day 2 and then day 3, as this is going to be a very slow mover out of the region. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, it's wet. The rain definitely coming down. Temperatures have been steady. Most of us have been hovering right around 50 degrees throughout the evening hours. You can see the rain coming down, 7th and Range Line. And again, the heaviest working out. So we're pretty much dry after midnight. By morning, we'll start to get some light showers on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. There's a weak little inverted trough that kind of works toward us. So mid to late morning into the early afternoon, a few thunderstorms could pop up. Once these get into southwestern Missouri, some of these storms could be a little bit stronger. Maybe low-grade severe. I'm not really anticipating that, but we are going to have hit and miss storms. Majority of you Stay dry though tomorrow. 64 by noon. We back down to about 60 because late tomorrow into tomorrow night, here come the light showers again. This isn't heavy rain. These are just light showers. They're going to work through, and this is going to be kind of on and off during the daytime hours on Wednesday as well. May get a flake or two mixed in Wednesday. It would not be a big deal. But at least the heaviest amounts of rain out of here in 2 hours. 64 tomorrow, only 43 on Wednesday, and then we start to dry out. And by Saturday or Sunday, Dow, you should be able to mow your yard.
Yeah, we were just discussing that. It's growing, and it's growing fast all of a sudden. A little bit of warm weather, longer days, and rain, that'll do it.
You got it.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOIM Skywatch weather app. Know things like when do you need to mow your lawn. You can also get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone. Doesn't cost a dime. It's available in the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, the KOIM Skywatch weather app. VFW Post 534 is holding its Veteran Service Officer event. This event helps veterans who are looking to make claims through Veteran Affairs get started on paperwork and help them find the right resources to do that. It also helps those who may not know what to do or where to start and puts those individuals in touch with an accredited Veterans Service Officer.
We are here to help any veteran in need, whether they've served in a wartime or in peacetime. If they need help, we help as best we can with them, call in resources if we need.
Post 534 has been serving the veterans in the community for 90 years now and looks to continue doing that. Still ahead, Missouri Southern Baseball aims to take the series from Washburn in today's series finale. And the Lions softball team hits the field for a doubleheader against a nationally ranked opponent. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Missouri Southern baseball team has split the first 2 games of their 3-game series against Washburn. And both games have been decided by 1 run, with the Lions winning 10-9 on Saturday and the Ichabods winning 8-7 on Sunday. Now, the 2 teams at it early today, finishing off the series before the rain starts. On the mound, Cole Woods. Great early for Southern. Strikeout there. He actually strikes out the first 6 batters he sees. Now, Chayton Beck breaks the scoreless tie in the second. Fights it off into right to score Tragan Parker. Nice day for Beck. Lions up 1-0. In the third, it's now 1-1. We're going back to Beck again to right field. Case Tucker hustles around to score. Washburn puts a throw in the dugout, so Cole Robinson also comes home. Southern goes back up 3-1. But once again, Washburn has an answer, tied 3-3 in the 6th. Trevor McCollum drills it to center. One hops the fence for the ground rule double. Connor Scott scores. Ichabods have their first lead, and they would add to it. Washburn takes the game and the series 8-4.
We got them Friday in a close game. They got us yesterday in a close game, and today the score maybe wasn't indicative of how close it was up until the maybe the 6th or 7th inning. But Washburn's a good team, man, and we're competing hard, and if we get a couple things fall our way, I think maybe we could win one more game. These are hard games to win, and we got to do some things, some smaller things right in order to give us a better chance. And I think sometimes we get make some careless errors, or however you want to describe it. We got to work on that and just do a little better job with the little things.
Missouri Southern softball is also at home today. The Lions host a doubleheader against Minnesota State, aiming to avoid a 3rd straight loss. And the Mavericks are pretty good, man. They enter the day ranked number 21 in the nation. Sydney Nielsen, big day today for Minnesota State in Game 1 here. Solo homer to left for Nielsen. Knocks it off a car. She goes 3 for 4, 2 homers and 3 RBIs. Mavericks winning a shutout in Game 1, 7-0. Now in Game 2, Lions try to avoid the doubleheader sweep. Now, this one actually did get started, but the game was canceled with no score in the 3rd inning due to the weather. Missouri Southern is now 15-12 this season and will be back in action on Friday at Northeastern State. Well, there's already been a lot of quarterback movement in the NFL this offseason, and there's even more today. The Atlanta Falcons are dealing quarterback Matt Ryan to the Colts in exchange for a 3rd-round pick. Ryan was the 3rd overall pick for Atlanta back in 2008. Spent the last 14 years with the franchise. He made the Pro Bowl 4 times, made 1 Super Bowl appearance, and was the league's MVP in 2016. Now, after that trade, the Falcons signed Marcus Mariota to a 2-year deal. Mariota was the 2nd overall pick in 2015 and spent the last 2 years with the Raiders. And 1 more after that, Jameis Winston is headed back to New Orleans, signing a 2-year deal with the Saints. Winston was 5-2 as the Saints starter last year before a knee injury ended his season. Finally, Coach of the Year awards for a pair of Pittsburgh State coaches. PSU track and field head coach Kyle Rutledge has been named the Central Region Men's Indoor Track and Field Coach of the Year. Ben Barrows is the Men's Assistant Coach of the Year. These guys led the Gorilla Men to a 3rd-place finish at Indoor Nationals earlier this month. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this. April.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. James Stoner served in the U.S. Marine Corps in 1968 and 69. The Lamar, Missouri native was stationed in Vietnam, and we salute Sergeant Major James Stoner, a 4-state hero. A pay copy of the very first Marvel Comics book pays off very handsomely for its owner. This 1939 copy of Marvel Comics #1, featuring the Human Torch, the Angel, Khazar, Submariner, and Masked Raider, it sold for $2.4 million in an online auction. $2.4 million. It's considered a top 3 must-have comics collectible. The comic is called Pay Copy because it has publisher notes explaining how much writers and artists were paid. And whatever that amount was, it was not nearly enough to purchase a copy of their comic book today.
I guess not.
They probably wish they had been paid in comic books.
I bet so.
The weather.
All right, thunderstorms continue, at least periods, over the next couple hours. And then we get a break. A few pop-up ones again for us tomorrow.
Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.